Welcome back to Fallout 4. This is episode 12 of my 2024 playthrough. If you didn't see the first episode, the playlist will be linked for you in the description, so if you'd like, please consider checking it out. Enjoy.
I think we ought to talk.
What?
Is something the matter? You sound upset.
What? Oh, no. We've just been traveling a while now, and I figure there hasn't exactly been equitable distribution of information. I've gotten a decent glimpse into your dirty laundry, but you still don't really know a whole heck of a lot about me. I figured I'd offer to balance the board. So, is there anything you want to know?
It's a very interesting question. Let's ask about his detective
What's
outfit.
with the outfit?
After I started the agency, it just seemed like the sort of thing a detective ought to wear. I got some old memories, pre-war. Faded to all heck of guys dressed like this, doing what I do. Putting on the hat and trench coat, and I figured it'd let folks know I was serious about the whole thing. Clothes make the man and all that. Guess I felt they made me the man I wanted to be.
Who are you, Nick?
So who are you, Nick?
That's a question I've been trying to figure out myself for a long damn time. I know I'm a synth, authentic Institute handiwork, but I'm still mechanical, not bioengineered like the fancy synths giving everyone the willies these days. I get tune-ups now instead of checkups. But my memories, my personality, they're all lifted from some cop who volunteered for an experiment back before the war. They scanned his brain and copied it onto the hardware that runs between my ears. Don't know why they chose to make a robot based on some pre-war cop instead of a math genius or a bioengineer. Hey, maybe that's why the Institute tossed me in the garbage instead of turning me into one of their people snatchers.
What? You look like garbage? That is messed up.
Wait, the original Nick was from my time?
Sure was. Which meant when I finally ended up out here, it was quite the rude awakening. I remember waking up one day in a garbage heap, a body in tatters and a head full of memories belonging to a man who'd been dead for 200 years. Suffice
Holy
to say,
cow.
it was a confusing couple of weeks. Folks didn't really know much about synths back then, so when I finally ran into people, they mostly treated me with caution rather than hostility. But the kids, they weren't afraid. I think his name was Jim. The first person to actually speak to me after I got the boot from the Institute. My first human contact in this world. Grilled me for an hour. Once they'd seen I wasn't going to hurt anyone, the other folks in the neighborhood came out to ogle the mechanical man. It eventually turned into a pretty swell soiree. The local mechanic even gave me a once-over, free of charge. Those people, they treated me like a human being. I've been trying to return the favor ever since. It's a surprisingly rare trait out here sometimes. It's something I've noticed you got a fondness for. Part of the reason I've stuck around this long.
Where's that town? We should go visit.
I tried to go back and say thanks once I'd gotten myself established. But the place was wiped off the map. Raiders.
It's unfortunate.
Don't know what happened to the people.
If you're good to people, they'll be good back. That's something I've always believed.
Couldn't agree more. Well, I expect you're about as bored as can be listening to me rattle my skeletons. You should probably head out.
It's pretty interesting to know. I didn't know any of that, actually. I mean, I knew some of it. Like, I knew, obviously, it's very obvious he's a synth. I knew he's different than, you know, quote-unquote modern models, but I didn't know that he basically had, like, his brain and, like, memories and everything and personality copied from a pre-war cop. That's pretty interesting. This here, I still have to do this. I think I'm gonna wait to do that, though. I feel like I'm really eager to try and get this molecular relay going. I don't know exactly if there's like anything I need to do to prepare myself. I don't know. Honestly, I think I should just do it.
Sturgis.
So let's talk to
Everything looks
Sturgis.
good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Let's do this.
I guess so.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform.
What are you
I'll start
doing,
scanning
dude?
for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens.
I actually am really frightened. I'm terrified
you're
to step
ready.
onto this thing, but let's do it.
Okay. Hold real still. I don't
No,
want
I'm
any
just gonna start
corruption of
doing
the
Fortnite
molecular
dances
beam.
up here.
Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay?
Okay.
Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. Holy shit. It worked. Oh my gosh, I'm here. Okay, so is this the terminal here? Yep, load. Oh, here we go. Load holotape. Which one is it? Is it the network scanner? Initiate network scan. Scan complete. Okay, now I have to give this holotape to Sturgis somehow. Eject that. Now what do I do? This is insane, dude. This place looks nuts.
Hello.
Whoa.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I am known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
What? Holy sh... Okay, who is that? Okay. Dude, this is like some Star Trek sh...
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression.
Who the hell is
Welcome to the
Father?
Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Holy sh... Is that Shaun?
Shaun?
Huh? Yes, I'm Shaun.
What?
Shaun? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Shaun, it's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Oh my... Okay, we're getting out of
leaving
here.
This place. Together. Okay, Shaun?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shaun, open the door.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Shaun, please. Calm down. I'll get you out of there.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Shaun. S923, recall code Cirrus.
What the sh...
But disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome
I'm so
to the
confused right now.
Institute.
I don't want to be hostile. I don't want to... Let's not be hostile.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son. to Shaun.
All right. Where's my
I'll
son?
make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Shaun.
What?
Your son.
That's insane.
Oh, come on! That's crazy.
I assure you, I am completely sane and entirely honest. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
Holy shit, man. My brain is like ping-ponging around in my head right now.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Yeah, I don't understand. Human synths?
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in
So
the
that's why.
Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today.
Wow.
I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
60 years. So much time. Wasted.
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
I don't even know where to start, honestly. I guess I'll ask about his mother.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? She was murdered.
Killed? Yes. Murdered? I'm not so sure about that. Still,
Well, they're kind of the same
I
thing
regret never having known her.
in that
For many
circumstance, at
years,
least.
I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind
I don't know. Guess we can ask about Kellogg. Not that
Kellogg?
there's
He worked for you?
much
Kellogg.
information.
He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
It really isn't that complicated, to be honest.
He was a murderer. He killed your mother.
Believe me, I am well aware of the atrocities Kellogg committed. I suspect there are many more we'll never know of. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So that was like somewhat orchestrated then. That's insane. I mean, I want to try and get as much information as possible, so I'll ask about the
So you're in
Institute.
charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
What would I need his help with? I'm kind of curious to know.
They need your help, Shaun. It's rough up there, to say the least.
Oh, we've tried that. Surprised? The Institute once tried to help create a stabilized Commonwealth government. It ended in bickering, infighting. It was a disaster. No. We look after our own now. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
I don't know. I guess maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. This is so much to take in.
I know. And I am sorry. You have been through so much in such a short time. The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
I really don't know still.
I don't know what to do.
I realize that. It's why I'm trying to help you. I hope that you can see that rationally. The Institute is the only thing left in the world that is worth being part of. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
I don't know. Are you sure?
Sure you want this?
Yes, I am. It would benefit us both to work together.
I honestly feel like I should deny it. It's such a hard decision to make though, because obviously after all these years, everything's been built up to this point, right? Trying to find Shaun, and then you come here only to find that he is literally like the leader of the Institute, the literal boogeyman of the Commonwealth. I don't know. I don't feel like it would be the best idea to side with him, so I feel implored to say no, if I'm being honest.
I'm sorry. I can't do that.
I'm sorry to hear that. I had certainly hoped we could work together. But every man must make his own decisions. If you choose to leave, I cannot force you to stay. Understand, though, that I cannot allow you to remain within the Institute. You may have safe passage back to the relay, where you will be sent back to the surface. But from that point, you must be considered hostile. I am sorry. I must think first of the safety of the Institute. And in the cruel world that has developed, those who are not with us are against them. The elevator will return you to the relay.
Holy shit. I cannot believe that. I mean, I feel as though that is extremely unfair. Shaun's terminal password? Oh shit. I don't know, dude. That's just so unfair. Whoa. Okay. Kellogg Conrad. Enhanced life expectancy. Kellogg's occasional presence continues to unnerve the others. At first, I thought they were merely intimidated by his confidence and arrogance, or perhaps even afraid of his general being. Kellogg is, after all, a killer, but as I've continued to witness their reactions, gauge their sidelong glances, I've detected something else. Something I probably should have anticipated. Jealousy. Kellogg is a living memorial to a forgotten program. He's an augmented human being, a cyborg really, and the benefits he has received cannot be denied. But really, the scientists here could not care less about enhanced reflexes or greater combat efficiency. No, the cause of their envy is he not going to show me? Okay, I guess that's just not finished. Personal notes. The wait continues. AO can only confirm sightings outside Vault 111, and again in Diamond City sometime later. What that means, I'm not sure. Will we actually meet? Was this all for nothing? Holy shit. No, not nothing. I will have learned valuable things about myself, my past, either way. I cannot afford to let emotion get in the way. I must simply observe and record. I'm told Kellogg has gone offline. Strangely, I find myself thinking of Dr. Walker. He had such high hopes for Kellogg, such faith in the implants and what they could mean. I still regret eliminating that project, but I know where it... Is there a way for me to read the rest of this, or is this just... I can't scroll down any further. Oh shit. Okay, if I press enter, where it would have led us. Walker was never shy about his goals, and too many others were starting to listen. In the end, I believe I was justified. The Institute is about preserving humanity, not some bizarre amalgamation of biology and technology. Wow. Okay, let me go back to this really quick so I can read the rest of it. Something more practical, more primal, his enhanced life expectancy. Just how long will Kellogg live if he passes naturally, however unlikely that may be? It's hard to say. He's already more than 100 years old. Older, certainly, than any other human in the Commonwealth. His complete physiology has been altered. Perhaps he'll make it to 150, maybe even 200. Let the petty have their petty jealousies. Kellogg is a living testament to the ingenuity and superiority of the Institute, and I take no small pleasure in knowing that must irritate him to no end. Director access synth shutdown. Unauthorized director code required. Okay, perhaps we can maybe find some kind of director code somewhere? Oh, director's recording. There we go. There's something there. Sliding doors requires a key. Pretty much wiped this place out. What would be... Was I already down here? Yeah, that's where I was. How can I get a key? Holy shit. This is from our house. I don't want to take that quite yet. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay, I don't know that I can find key. This is unlocked elsewhere. Yeah, I've searched this place completely, and I can't seem to be able to get through that. Let me try and talk to Shaun once more.
Shaun, can we talk about this?
Have you reconsidered your decision?
Is there some other option?
Isn't there some other option? Some other way we can work things out?
You've seen the Commonwealth. You must have some idea of how this world works. You're either with us or you're not. I'm afraid it's that simple.
Okay. I'm not
sorry.
interested.
I'm not interested.
That's a shame. I had hoped for so much more. You may see yourself out.
That's so devastating, man. Absolutely devastating. I really hope that we'll be able to come back down here. I think this might be it. Gosh, that's really such a shame. I wish I was able to somehow get out of here somehow. And maybe I might be able to. I don't know. Here's the thing is I'm very interested in this storyline for sure. And it almost makes me kind of want to explore that and want to maybe change my mind. I really am very interested in this storyline. Like I'd like to know what it might be like if I were to explore this storyline and to side with the Institute. I think morally for me, ultimately, like if I say I were in this position, right? Say this was real life and I was in this position. Quite honestly, I think it'd be a very, very difficult decision to make, especially being that this whole time we've been looking for our son, we've been looking for Shaun, only to find that he is the leader of the most corrupt institution in all of the Commonwealth. I don't think I could side with the Institute, knowing what they're capable of, knowing what they're after. I think they try and paint themselves as this system of justice, you know, looking after the well-being of all of humanity, when in reality, they're not looking after the safety of anyone but themselves. They're not looking out for the safety of any other of the societies or factions above ground. And I think that that's just extremely messed up. And I don't think I could side with something like that willingly. But who knows? I think what I'll do here is just save. So that way I hopefully can come back and explore this storyline a bit more if that's something that I decide to do. But for now, let's go ahead and exit out of here. Here we go. Back above ground. Man, that is not at all what I was expecting. Just entirely news to me. I'm curious to know if, having not sided with the Institute, will we at some point in the future still have any more interactions with Shaun? Or is that just it? Is that storyline just dead now? I'm very curious to know. So let's go ahead and talk to Preston about this. Where the hell is he? Here's Sturgis. I think we're supposed to give the holotape back to
Most people are good
him.
at breaking things. I enjoy putting them back together.
Here's that holotape you gave me. Full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
What are you expecting
What do you hope to find?
Whatever the Institute doesn't want anybody to know. All the good stuff on here is going to be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe.
Okay, what we're gonna do next is probably head down to the castle and see what there is for us to do down there.